Hello there, Cancer. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to look at your full moon energy for November 12th. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa, and I do tarot readings on the new moon and the full moon. The new moon readings talk about the beginning of the cycle, letting go of the past cycle, and focusing on starting anew. What intuition to put out, what intentions to put out. That could just be me messing up my words, but that could also be something else. We'll see when the cards come out, I guess. But new moon is the beginning of the cycle. We're going to look at the full moon, which is the peak. So the intentions that you put out in the beginning of the cycle, how they bloomed and grow, where they're at now, and what we need to do going forward before we get to the end of the cycle where we will start over again. So we could be looking at what's coming to fruition from your intentions in the beginning, but also what it's time to let go of in order to start fresh in the next cycle. All right, Cancer. What is Cancer's energy for the full moon, November 12th? One more card for Cancer's full moon energy, please. Okay. Oh, okay. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Lovers. Okay. I feel like you're feeling pretty content with the amount of work that you're putting into your relationships. Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but I feel like this is you sitting pretty at the full moon going, look what I grew, right? I put in all of this work and now I can just sit back and look at it. You know, like it's taking time to kind of reflect on the work that you put in. Okay. And I feel like it's regarding relationships. It's regarding maybe not romantic relationships. This could be friendships. This could be partnerships at work. This could be your relationship with yourself. I feel like in a lot of cases, that's what the Lovers card represents to me, but that's just me as a reader. But yeah, I feel like you're doing a good job in that department. You are putting in the correct amount of effort. You're not feeling like you could have done more. You're not feeling like you didn't do enough. You're not feeling like you're overdoing it. You feel like you're putting in the correct amount of work and you're just kind of watching things unfold. But it's definitely you're within your relationships here. So let's see what else Cancer needs to know. What does Cancer need to know about these relationships? We have the Knight of Wands. Again, this is kind of the same vibe where he's just kind of looking on it, not really taking action. I'm not seeing any action being taken here. Like, you took the action. You already put those in a row there. And again, that can also indicate that there was a process or a progression, a sequence that needed to take place, or that needs to take place. These aren't so neat, right? These are a little bit more sloppy. They're messy. It's not like neatly in a row. But you've put in the action, you've put in the work, and now you're just kind of watching. This one is a little bit closer to the final of what it is that you're working on here within this relationship. But overall, I feel like you've put in the work. Again, like, you've put in the work. And now you're kind of just watching it grow. You're watching to see what happens. You're not taking any action right now. But I kind of, let's see. I mean, you're not taking any action. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the proper course. So let's see. What else does Cancer need to know about this inactivity? What does Cancer need to know about their actions? What does Cancer need to know? Eight of Cups. That's a little bit more active. That's walking away. That's walking away. There's a path in there. There's a path in front that leads to a different atmosphere. We have the greenery here. We have the grass and this, maybe even dirt. This is like a dirt path. But you're walking this path and it leads to these mountains, right? We have a different scenery here. I'm hearing the grass is always greener. Well, hey. But, we've got purple mountains back here. So, it's not a grass is always greener on the other side kind of situation. But I feel like this inactivity leads to finding a new path to walk down. There's some inactivity and then we have, that's definitely more active. That's definitely a walking away, leaving those cups behind. All right. Is there anything else Cancer needs to know about this situation? Four of Cups. Inaction. Take no action. Take no cups. Okay? It's really, I feel like that's just where you're at right now. And, we don't necessarily know that they're walking down this path, but this definitely is a card that indicates walking away from something. You could be trying to decide if it's time to walk away from a relationship, and really taking no action, just trying to figure it out. Figuring out maybe what the next step should be. Where to get that last rod from or wand. I'm mixing up my decks. Where am I, where should I put this nail in the coffin? Final nail in the coffin. Very morbid. Thank you. But it's kind of taking a step back. It's taking, you're taking a step back, and maybe I feel like this is indicated it is a time to take a step back on the path. Maybe that path you're realizing is not for you. Or maybe somebody else. I don't feel like it's a person though, but it's possible somebody else is kind of showing you a different path. But yeah, it's inactivity. There's just a lot of inactivity. It's turning your back on something and not taking any action. All right. That's all I'm getting from it. I feel like this is very bland. I'm sorry for that, but they just keep giving me people just sitting around doing nothing. Even the lovers are sitting there doing nothing. They're holding hands, but, I feel like... What did I just hear? It's, there's someone to do nothing with, which I could be phrasing that incorrectly. There's someone to do nothing with. Or somebody's doing nothing with you. I feel like I'm getting that wrong, but if that resonates for you, then it's for you. Okay, let's see what else we get here. What advice do we have for Cancers? What advice do we have for Cancer? Advice for Cancer, please. That one. Holy shit. It's the Death card, which kind of represents a rebirth to me, but it came out with the Seven of Swords, which is kind of some shady behavior going on there. It's kind of time, this is hidden. There's hidden here for me. There's something deceitful. Something's being hidden from you. It's time to put an end to that. So the Death card is ending something so that you can begin something else. But yeah, you're not taking any action here. So, okay. If you're not going to take action, it's time to move on, is what I'm kind of hearing. It's time to end something. If there's no action, okay. I feel like I have the whole situation reversed. You're not the one not taking action. If you're in a relationship, friendship, whatever, where the other person is not taking action. That's maybe that's why it feels so bland. It could be the other person not taking action. If they're not taking action, if they're not putting in any effort, then it's time to walk away. Okay? That could be more what the case is. When, they're not putting in any action, you feel like they're hiding something. There's something kind of shady going on, and you just got this feeling something ain't right. There, I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing from this situation? Does that kind of not look like what the situation is there? What am I missing? What's missing here? Something's, you're not seeing the whole picture. But if there's no activity, the action has kind of died out, it's time to close that chapter and start the next one. So I feel like your reading is more about what to let go of for this cycle. Whatever came to be, came to be. Like that's you got something there. Something is coming, something has come to a peak for you, but it wasn't, like you had higher expectations. There wasn't as much activity as you expected. So it's time to drop it, be done with it, and kind of maybe start over the next cycle. When the time is right, it will come. But yeah, I feel like whatever the situation is that you feel like you put in what you were going to put in, and you kind of either stopped working on it or the other person stopped working on it, whatever relationship this has to do with, due to inactivity, your account has been shut down. That's what I'm feeling here. Whether it's you or the other person that you're dealing with, I feel like that's where you're at. The peak of the cycle is where you're like, okay, it's time to let go of this. It didn't happen the way I wanted it to. Yeah, it was nice. Like I got some out of it, like I got eight is kind of like that too. Like you put in the effort, you got a little bit out of it. But now you're kind of like done, like you're not really interested anymore, or they're not really interested anymore, however the situation fits. But it's definitely time to end that cycle of, feeling like something right. All right. So let's see what is the outcome if this advice is followed? What is the outcome? What is the outcome if this advice is followed? Three of Pentacles, a new plan. Yeah, you just start working on something else. All right, so you move on from that. If you let go of it, you definitely move on. There's no hard feelings. It's just a new plan in place, taking steps to move forward. It's moving forward. So that's your potential outcome if you follow the advice of, kind of whatever the situation is. So it could be a work situation. We did start off with Pentacles, so that could be, financial. Wands are creativity. It's financial. That's what I'm hearing. It could, not necessarily financial, but it could be a work-related relationship. That's kind of the main focus that I'm getting here. Then we have more Pentacles here. So it could have to do with a relationship with somebody at work, friendship, boss, superior, whatever, and you, if you're the boss and somebody that works under you, it could be regarding that. It's just time they're not putting as much effort in, or you don't want to put the effort in anymore. It's time to kind of call it quits. No hard feelings. I'm getting no hard feelings. They'll move on, you'll move on, and a new plan will kind of unfold for you. But that's what I'm getting for your full moon energy. Like your peak is realizing that what you put into it is all you want to put into it, and you're kind of done now, or they are, and you're done dealing with them, being done. So if you decide to sever ties or end a relationship or quit your job or whatever, you will just move on to the next thing and you will be fine with it. You'll just start working on something else, and it's not really a big deal. I don't see this being like super you invested and committed to this that you're going to be heartbroken over it. I feel like you're just going to move on because the effort wasn't there. It really wasn't there on your part either, or you are the main contributor to the no action. But in any case, I feel like this is just kind of, it was bland to begin with, and now you're kind of done with it and you're going to move on to the next thing. So I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for sticking around this long. I will see you in the next video. And as always, have a blessed day.